Right now this morning, campaign showdown in La Crosse. Both vice presidential candidates descend on the Coulee region today. What their dueling visits mean for local voters and your morning commute. And from chaos to calm, learn how two local experts are helping parents create more peaceful homes this Mindful Monday.
Plus, we're starting out with a little light rainfall this early morning, and of course, patchy to dense fog is also a part of your forecast. I'll have that coming up for you in a quick cast in just a second.
Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us for News 8 Now this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Monday, November 4th. It is Monday, but I'm already stressed out. There's a lot going on this week, starting with, dueling VP visits. We've got rain in the forecast. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Wet roads, dense fog.
Yeah,
and
Monday.
Yeah,
just keep
Monday.
It coming, right?
There we go. And let's get into the rainfall to start you off with. I'm going to take you back over 24 hours, though, and show you the rainfall that we picked up from yesterday and the rainfall that we had last night as well. Here it comes right there, continuing through the area. Now, it kind of swept through the area, and it took a little turn and kind of pushed everything a little bit more to the southeast out of our area. So that means that rainfall we were supposed to pick up today, well, it's kind of moved over as well. So right now, we're in the dense fog activity. As you can see, we also have the shower activity, which will happen at times. It's no longer a 70% chance. It's now down to a 40% chance. And as we continue on, take a look. We've got the dense fog advisory until 6 a.m. Now that's almost ready to expire, but we also have periods of mist and rainfall at 40% chances I mentioned already. Then tonight, more showers come back heavy at times working through the area, and they'll be heavy going into tomorrow morning. That being said, here's a look at your patchy to dense fog holding on to some areas, so please be careful. You can see all the way from La Crosse. You've got getting into areas by Viroqua as well as Sparta and Prairie du Chien. All that starts to track towards La Crosse and gets out of the way by the time we get into the 10 o'clock hour. But by 11 o'clock, you're still holding on to some fog north of I-94. That being said, cloudy skies working for Eau Claire this morning, getting with more rainfall coming in at 10 a.m. and then dry conditions for the noon hour. We'll see some of that shower activity coming in for the noon hour for us here locally in La Crosse. So be safe out there. Back to you.
Less than 24 hours now till the Election Day polls open, and the battle for Wisconsin intensifies right here in La Crosse today. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance will bring his campaign to the La Crosse Center this morning, focusing on the economy and border security. Doors for that opening in just over an hour at 7:30. The rally starts at 9:30 a.m. Wisconsin Democrats responding to Vance's visit. In a statement, they claim the Republican campaign is, quote, more focused on Donald Trump and his own problems than Wisconsin families. The statement goes on to frame tomorrow's choice as, quote, between Vice President Harris, who's fighting for you, and Donald Trump, who is consumed by his enemies list and plans for revenge. The Democratic ticket will also make La Crosse a priority today. Vice presidential candidate and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz will hold his own rally here in the Coulee region. While the time and location are still under wraps, it is a key stop in Walz's four-day battleground state blitz ahead of tomorrow's election. As the campaign trail crisscrosses La Crosse today, your morning commute could face some major delays and detours, especially around the airport and downtown. The La Crosse Police Department warning that parking will be limited near the La Crosse Center, with motorcades and security measures impacting traffic throughout the morning. We've also got some wet road conditions to throw into that mix, so give yourself some extra time this morning if you can, and we will have complete team coverage of both campaign events on News8000.com and News 8 Now at noon. As La Crosse prepares for today's campaign visits, Minnesota's First Lady was already rallying support in western Wisconsin over the weekend. At an Eau Claire campaign office Saturday, Gwen Walz joined State Representative Jody Emerson and Assembly candidate Christian Phelps to energize supporters. Her message focused on reproductive rights and lowering costs under a Harris-Walz administration.
And they will build an opportunity economy, one where everyone has a shot to succeed. This means giving you a tax cut, lowering the cost of groceries and health care, and making it more affordable to buy a home.
Today marks Walz's 9th visit to Wisconsin since Governor Walz joined the Democratic ticket. And yesterday, Democrats launched their final ground game with State Party Chair Ben Wickler in La Crosse. Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez and Congressman Mark Pocan led similar events across the state, part of a statewide push ahead of tomorrow's election.
We think that actually going out and engaging with people shows them that their vote can make a difference and that we are seeking to earn their vote, and we hope that everyone goes out and votes in this election.
Voters highlighted Vice President Harris's New Way Forward plan, which they say will cut everyday expenses, protect reproductive freedoms, and strengthen democracy. In a late shock in the race for president, new polling now has Vice President Harris ahead of former President Trump in the state of Iowa. The Des Moines Register Mediacom Iowa poll has Harris leapfrogging Trump just months after he had a double-digit lead in the Hawkeye state. Naomi Ruckham breaks down the new numbers as early voting wraps up across the country.
A new poll has Vice President Kamala Harris ahead of former President Donald Trump in Iowa, a typically red state which Trump has won twice. The Des Moines Register Mediacom Iowa poll has Harris ahead 47 to 44%. The late polling comes in the final days of early voting coast to coast. In the hotly contested swing state of Michigan, more than 2 million people have already voted early, with more than 800,000 voting in person. Women are a crucial voting bloc for both candidates, and the stark division is glaring over reproductive rights in America.
It's about health care, right? It's about people butting their noses into things that don't have anything to do with them.
I thought that Trump was going to win it the second time, and that did not happen. And this time, of course, that's where I'm going to be voting, because that's where my values and my morals are going to be represented the best.
But in other states, early voting is lagging. In Chicago, a strong turnout and long lines in the final weekend still had the city 300,000 ballots behind this point 4 years ago. In California, where all signs point to a clear Democratic victory in the presidential column, voters are procrastinating, largely due to state and local races and a long list of ballot measures to consider, which could all make for a very hectic day at the polls on Tuesday.
The Iowa poll shows older women and those who are politically independent are driving the late shift toward Harris. Trump won Iowa in the last two presidential campaigns by more than 8 points. And as these final campaign pushes wrap up, polls will open tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. in Wisconsin and Minnesota. Wisconsin voters can find your polling location, if you need to still do that, at myvote.wi.gov. Minnesota voters can check the Secretary of State's website. Voters in La Crosse and Eau Claire can get free transit rides to the polls tomorrow. Polls close at 8 p.m. tomorrow. As long as you're in line by then, you will be able to cast your vote. Stay tuned to News 8. We'll have team coverage of the election throughout the day tomorrow. We'll also have a recap on News 8 Now this morning on Wednesday. Time now is 6:08. Still ahead on your morning news, a new robot promises to clean your windows using artificial intelligence. A former Disney employee facing charges for allegedly tampering with food allergy warnings at restaurant menus. And a new study shows billionaires leave a much bigger carbon footprint than previously reported. And the tiny cat with a mighty impact, how Hello Kitty grew from a coin purse design to an $80 billion global phenomenon as she celebrates 50 years of spreading joy. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Take a look at what looks like something taking a look at us. This so-called cosmic googly eye was captured on Mars by NASA's Intrepid Perseverance rover during a recent solar eclipse. It was a product of Mars's lumpy potato-shaped moon Phobos, passing between the red planet and the sun. If the loopy look looks familiar, it's because it's not the first time. Back in 2019, the Curiosity rover captured an internet-worthy transit, and that interstellar eye roll went viral. For now, we are leaving you with a quick wake-up call look from City Cam 8 of course, this is our city of La Crosse, preparing to take center stage in the presidential race today, with both vice presidential candidates making their final pitches to Cooley region voters today. We'll have live coverage and a recap for you, so stick with us. We'll be right back.
Life's busy. Off is not an option. You need to be on. On time, on the go, on the call, or just ready to play on. Life's waiting. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Who does Derek Van Orden think he is? This guy who reportedly shouted at kids in the U.S. Capitol? I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman.
Derek Van Orden doesn't care about making our lives better. He'd make Wisconsinites pay just to give huge tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. Van Orden even sides with extremists who tried to cut Social Security. Wisconsin deserves better, and Derek Van Orden does not belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Remember when Hillary Clinton called you a deplorable?
You can put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
Well, Tammy Baldwin hates you too.
Donald Trump might be one of the most offensive and hateful and unacceptable presidential candidates we've ever had. So what does that say about the people who support him?
Tammy Baldwin is a liberal snob.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Next January, one of us will be president. If it's Donald Trump, he will wake up every day and stew over his enemies list. That will help no one. If I am president, I'll be focused on my to-do list for you, the American people. I'll cut costs by cracking down on corporate price gouging, make housing more affordable, lower taxes for middle-class families, and protect Social Security. I will focus on getting things done. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message. Let's get to work.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
You're thinking about new windows and doors. I've been thinking about new windows and doors for over 40 years. You're thinking about the best window at the best price. I'm thinking about the best window at the best price for you. The best quality, installed by professional installers at a fair price. If you're planning new windows and doors, you owe it to yourself to contact the Bort Store Home Improvements for a prompt free estimate. You'll be glad you did. Contact us today.
Batteries Plus has the national scale for all your power needs and a dedicated expert for the local support you want. Power on with Batteries Plus Business.
Well, good morning to you. Little shower activities on the way. It's about a 40% chance now as it is knocked down from a 70% chance that we had. We're also going to be seeing now we've got dense fog going on currently. The advisory is now expired for us. Periods of mist and rainfall in the form of showers. That'll be light. We're going to be working through the area today as a 40% chance. Then tonight we have heavier rainfall moving into the picture. It'll be light to moderate, possibly heavy at times. And then that'll go overnight into the sunrise time. Then it starts to track a little bit more north of around Eau Claire, getting into Ladysmith. Fog and low cloud activity right now. We've got fog down to dense, zero visibility, continuing to work through the area. La Crosse is at 5 miles visibility. It's getting heavier as we go through the morning hours, so please be careful. Take your time. There are wet roads out there right now. We're holding on to this fog to linger as we get into the 9 o'clock hour before it breaks down. Some of it gets up to Eau Claire and Ladysmith. They're still holding on to it going into the 11 o'clock hour and into the noon hour. We're also going to see Eau Claire holding on to cloudy skies through the morning, 56 degrees to 63 degrees as we finish out in the afternoon. We could possibly already see our highs coming in earlier this morning, or excuse me, as we finish out the morning hours. So look for at least temperatures 58 degrees at 8 o'clock, getting to noon around 64 degrees. La Crosse has the kids going to school at 7 o'clock. You're looking at 60 degrees out there at fog and low cloud activity. Heading home though, 67 degrees. La Crosse has 55 degrees going into the 7 a.m. hour, with at least heading home by 44 degrees. You notice we're getting cooler as we get into the afternoon. More about this coming up for you in just a bit.
In your consumer news on this Monday morning, don't be alarmed if you spot giant robot spiders climbing up office buildings. They're just there to wash the windows. Named after mountain climbing goats, these AI-powered robots can scale buildings vertically, making dangerous window cleaning safer. While they do still need some human supervision, they're already at work in Dallas. Here they go. Beyond just cleaning, the robots can also inspect buildings and alert owners to potential problems. A former Disney menu manager now facing federal charges for allegedly hacking restaurant menus and tampering with food allergy information. Prosecutors say the cyber attacks happened after his June firing, causing $150,000 in damage. The complaint says he also printed profanity on menus. The former employee denies those allegations, claiming Disney is trying to frame him. And Oxfam has released a study of 50 of the world's richest billionaires and the carbon emissions of their private jets, super yachts, and investments. It found they produce more carbon on average in just over 90 minutes than a regular person does in their entire life. Of note, the two private jets owned by Jeff Bezos emitted as much carbon in 12 months as an average Amazon employee would in 207 years. Wow. Well, Hello Kitty is turning 50. November 1st marked the 50th anniversary of the iconic fictional feline. Hanako Montgomery reports from Tokyo and meets a superfan celebrating her decades-long love for the cuddly kitty.
In this sea of Hello Kitties, it's hard for superfan Asako Kanda to pick her favorite. Like many fans before her, Kanda was drawn to Hello Kitty as a child. Her collection's grown a bit since then.
So this Hello Kitty is a special Hello Kitty that's celebrating her 50th birthday, and she's wearing a tartan because Hello Kitty herself is actually British.
She loves them all like family. Getting rid of any is out of the question.
She's the one constant in my life. My love for Hello Kitty has never wavered.
With her iconic red bow and mouthless charm, Hello Kitty has captivated generations of fans. In her 50 years, she's been a United Nations ambassador, met global stars, and even picked up some sports, all while taking Japan's kawaii, or cute, culture from niche to worldwide. And her hard work's paid off. Worth $80 billion US. Hello Kitty is the second highest grossing franchise in the world, according to Tidal Max. Not bad for a little girl. Yes, you heard that right.
3 apples?
That only weighs 3 apples and is 5 apples tall. But Hello Kitty hasn't always been this popular. After her 1974 debut on a small coin purse, Hello Kitty merchandise sales slumped, until parent company Sanrio hired designer Yuko Yamaguchi 6 years later, who turned to fans for help.
They told me it was always the same stuff and that she wasn't stylish anymore. So I added new trends and made her more like everyone else, and gradually, sales started to improve.
Since then, she's expanded Hello Kitty's world, giving the character new clothes, skills, and broadening her fan base to adults. After decades together, Yamaguchi says her bond with Kitty has evolved, from friend to alter ego to talent she manages.
Now, I feel like the two of us are working together to bring happiness to others. It's our way of giving back to all the fans who love and support Kitty.
As for their striking resemblance, Yamaguchi says Kitty is the copycat.
Because I was born before her.
Hello Kitty may be small, but her impact on the world is anything but.
That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now is 6:19. Let's check in with Art for a look at our forecast.
I can't compete with Hello Kitty. What are you talking about right there? We get into a rainfall. I mentioned before here, this is what we're experiencing this morning. You see it's tracking into Minnesota, going into Minneapolis, St. Paul, and then eventually you're seeing here a little bit of more light rainfall here, but eventually we'll see some heavier rainfall cutting to the eastern portion of our area, to the southeast. That being said, let's take a look at what I've got going on for you here. We're going to continue on with this here and show you that we're going to see that rainfall is going to also show we got some cloud cover here as well. We are cloudy skies, and that's going to continue for the better part of the day. We've got patchy to dense fog that's out there right now. Zero visibility going all the way from Mansfield extending into Black River Falls. We already know something like that already, but we're holding on to the fog, really coalescing, getting into areas right by Winona and La Crosse over the next couple of hours. You can see we're going to see the fog and low cloud activity still stick with us as we finish out going into the 9 o'clock hour, possibly in the 10 o'clock hour before we clear it on out. Up to the north, though, for Ladysmith, you're holding on to that cloud cover through the noon hour. We take a look at what we've got going on for you for tomorrow. I should say tomorrow. I apologize, it says Thursday on it, but this is for tomorrow. You're looking at, again, the possibility of a marginal risk for severe weather, and that is a low risk. It's a 2% chance for tornadoes and about a 5% chance getting into areas for at least some damaging wind for tomorrow. Going into that, though, our normal temperatures for this time of year, 48 to 53 degrees with lows in the low to middle 30s. I want to give you that so you can see what's going to go on for today. Here's a look at the rainfall that's popping through by the 9 o'clock hour. It's to our west, excuse me, tracking to our north, eventually by Ladysmith. You're going to see by the time we get in the 11 o'clock hour, temperatures are already in the 60s. Then we'll pop through it here going to 3 o'clock. You're looking at temperatures around, say, 66 degrees for us. I suspect we'll get to 67 for our high today, holding on to conditions that'll be like this as we roll right through it, holding on to increasing clouds again after a break. Then we pick up that cloud cover and continue on with some light rainfall. The heavier stuff, as I mentioned already, is well over there getting into Beaver Dam. And then we continue with scattered showers working through the area in the form of light rainfall, continuing on to moderate rainfall by the time we get in the 8 o'clock hour in the morning for Tuesday. That continues to strengthen up a little bit to moderate to near heavy at times, getting at 10 o'clock. Then by the 12 o'clock hour, it continues to track out. Now follow, you see, it kind of gets that little loop in it there, that area of low pressure that's with it, tracks along from southwest to northeast out of the area. Then we clear out the skies and get done with that. Let's see what we've got going on for you. The highs for Monday today, widespread 60s with some upper 50s to the north. We'll also be seeing highs tomorrow getting a little bit cooler, widespread middle 50s to upper 50s, maybe some 60s down to the south. Rainfall, that's what we get today, and then we'll increase that rainfall going through tomorrow. We'll see up to an inch plus getting up to the north. You'll see a little bit, maybe near 3/4 of an inch plus for our rainfall locally. Then we'll continue out to 67 with warm temperatures today, middle 50s for tomorrow, and dry conditions for midweek. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. The time now is 6:22. Still ahead, celebrities and politicians helping shine a light on a disorder that impacts a person's ability to solve problems and learn new concepts. Coming up, defining nonverbal learning disorder and looking at how one family is helping raise awareness.
Coming up in sports, the Green Bay Packers in a big one against division rival, the Detroit Lions. And the Vikings were up against the Colts. I've got the highlights coming up in the Morning Blitz.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Oh, please. Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. She made her living trying to elect Democrat extremists. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. No wonder extremists like AOC are spending big bucks to elect liberals like Cook. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At Overhead Door Company, we repair any garage door and only install the best. Serving up to 100 miles outside of the Onalaska, Wisconsin area. When you need a door company you can trust with your life, call Overhead Door Company of the Seven Rivers region.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
When did you know Eric Hovde was wrong for Wisconsin?
Well, that's easy. When he said that people like me were going to die soon, so we shouldn't be able to vote.
Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
When Hovde said overweight people should pay more for health care.
When I heard he wants to raise the retirement age.
When I heard he's completely against abortion.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
Now we know what's wrong with Eric Hovde. He's not for us.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
With as touchy and divisive as politics can be, how do we move forward when our candidate loses? Tonight at 6, a closer look at how we got here and how we can all recover from election fatigue. Tonight on News 8.
To the Morning Blitz, week 9 of the NFL season. Man, is it flying by. A big one for Green Bay this weekend as they welcomed in the 6-1 Detroit Lions. Well, Packers have some work to do. Let's go to Lambeau Field. It was wet, it was rainy, but Love playing through a groin injury, making it happen. Pack would lead by 3 after a first quarter field goal, but first play the second quarter on 4th and goal. Goff goes to the end zone, and that's Amon-Ra St. Brown. A nice catch. That puts Detroit in front. It was a defensive battle with the help of the weather. Packers trying to get a score before the half. Love flushed out of the pocket, and that was a bad throw right into the hands of Kirby Joseph. He's going to take it all the way back for the score. Lions go up 14, and that's a throw that Love is going to want back. But the Pack not out of it. Second half, Lions going forward on 4th down, but they hand it to Jahmyr Gibbs, and he's going to take it all the way in for the score. Packers go down 21. And this rain was not slowing down. It was like this the majority of the game. No second half fireworks in this one. But with under 4 to play, Green Bay finally gets a touchdown. That's Emmanuel Wilson on the score. 2-point conversion good, but no second half comeback. Detroit closes it out 24-14. Some people think the Lions are one of the best teams in the NFL, and that just means the Packers have some work to do.
Just way too many mistakes, and you cannot do that against a good football team because they're going to make you pay. And credit to them, they played a clean game.
No, I didn't see him when I threw it. Like I said, I just saw Josh kind of trying to get out of there, and like I said, the ball didn't go where I wanted it to, and yeah, critical error.
Now, Love's league-leading 10th interception was a critical error, but it wasn't just him yesterday. If you want to beat one of the best teams in the NFL, you got to bring your A game. The Packers had 10 penalties, the Lions just 5. But there's a lot of season left, and the Packers have plenty of time to re-gear before they face them again on Week 14. Up next for the Packers, they've got a bye week next, but then they'll take on the Chicago Bears on November 17th. The Minnesota Vikings taking on the Colts on Sunday night. They were down by 7 at the half, but in the third quarter on 1st and goal, Darnold rolling out, going to the end zone, and what a nice diving grab by Jordan Addison. The Vikings tie this game at 7. And then later in the quarter at the goal line, Darnold, a man wide open. That's Jalen Naylor for the touchdown. Vikings take the lead. They would close it out 21-13, the final. Minnesota is now 7-2 on the year. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Dental implants are often the best solution to severe dental issues. If you have infection in your mouth, it does cause trouble other places. A lot of people ignore infection for way too long. And when they finally do something about it, they say not only do they like what they did here, but they feel better overall. In the end, you can have a smile you're proud of and a very healthy mouth.
We're an implant-focused practice. If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
I'm Tara, a nurse here in Wisconsin, and my patients don't want politicians like Eric Hovde making their healthcare decisions. He means what he says about opposing reproductive rights.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
And there are forces in Washington who want to pass a nationwide ban on abortion. And if Hovde gets elected, I worry he'll support that ban that could turn nurses like me into criminals. We need to vote against Eric Hovde.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Let's talk about Rebecca Cook. She's a political operative. She's worked for defund the police radicals across this country.
Cook spent millions getting Mandela Barnes elected, the most anti-law enforcement candidate in Wisconsin's history.
You remember Barnes, the guy who said reducing prison populations was sexy?
Defund the police radicals make it harder for us to keep you safe.
That's why we can't support Rebecca Cook, because she'll never support us.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She supported his disastrous economic agenda, higher taxes on the middle class. Kamala backed his open border policies, and their weakness invited wars. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower, and the border secure. But Kamala wants to double down on failure. Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I thought I knew Tammy Baldwin.
I thought I knew Tammy Baldwin.
But boy, is she extreme.
Tammy's open border policies flooded Wisconsin with fentanyl and criminals.
Her bill to force women to share locker rooms with biological men, dangerous.
And Tammy's done nothing to lower the cost of living. In fact, she helped cause the crisis. 25 years is enough. It's enough.
It's enough.
It's time for Tammy Baldwin to go. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative is there to help you power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain. We never stop. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Welcome back. In your morning medical news, cancer patients who quit smoking shortly after a diagnosis significantly lowered their risk of dying. A University of Texas study found patients who started tobacco treatment and quit smoking within 9 months of their cancer diagnoses added nearly 2 years to their lives. The earlier they quit smoking, the longer they lived. Flu and COVID vaccination rates are low among healthcare workers. A CDC study found fewer than 1 in 6 healthcare workers in hospitals and nursing homes got the 2023-2024 COVID vaccine. Fewer than half of those working in nursing homes received a flu shot. Vaccinations are necessary to protect vulnerable and immunocompromised people in healthcare settings. It is estimated more than 2 million children and teens in the U.S. may have nonverbal learning disorder, or NVLD. That condition affects a person's ability to problem solve, notice patterns, and learn new concepts. Jared Hill shares one family's story with us.
I always known that I was different.
Ariel Miller says it was things like playing by herself and problems with organization that tipped her mom off when she was young.
I was always alone and spending time doing my schoolwork instead of interacting with people, which was really scary for me.
Now 33, she's been living and coping with nonverbal learning disorder, or NVLD. It affects nonverbal skills, especially understanding visual spatial processing.
This might be the ability to pack the back of the car well, or to follow the instructions to put together a piece of IKEA furniture. For children, when they learn to do jigsaw puzzles, or when they're using Legos and have to follow the instructions. And then in school, it becomes incredibly important when they have to interpret pictures or read graphs. And they also may have trouble with math and with motor skills.
Ariel's mom, Laura Lemley, started the NVLD project just over a decade ago, hoping to build a community for families like hers and create awareness for NVLD to officially become a disorder classified by the American Psychiatric Association.
We're really hoping to get NVLD recognized as a formal disorder in the medical community.
There are also efforts to change the name.
The first thing people think is they're mute or they don't talk. The new name proposed for NVLD is developmental visual spatial disorder. You can describe visual spatial issues like getting lost in space, not understanding what's salient, not reading nonverbal social cues.
NVLD has been gaining attention since Chris Rock revealed his diagnosis, and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz revealed his son has NVLD. Ariel says she hasn't let the disorder hold her back.
I still have NVLD. So I can't say I overcome it, I don't have it anymore, you know, but there are easy ways that you can make it easier for yourself.
And she's taking it one step at a time.
In September, Lem helped open the nation's first ever clinic dedicated to NVLD at Yeshiva University's Graduate School of Psychology in New York, which includes access to teaching and training spaces, as well as assessment and therapy. Local high schoolers joined together to feed the greater La Crosse area over the weekend. The 9th annual iFeed brought students together Saturday for the community-wide food drive led by high school Interact clubs. All donations will stock local food pantries through the Hunger Task Force. Organizers say the timing is perfect to help restock pantries across the county.
The food pantry shelves are often bare as we head into the holiday season, so this is just one way to get them kind of geared up to feed the hungry for the holiday season.
You can still bring donations to the festival food locations across the area until November 16th. A local event is helping community members get active on the ice. Coulee Region Sled Hockey opened the ice to everyone Saturday at its annual Day of Ice event. Participants of all abilities got a chance to try the sport, learning fundamentals while using specialized equipment from La Crosse's Star Center.
People who have disabilities don't realize that there's a lot of opportunities for them to be physically active, and everyone needs to have good physical activity to be healthy.
If you missed the event but want to try ice hockey, you can contact the center about joining a practice. The time now is 6:36. Let's check back in with Art to tell us what to expect on our morning commute.
All right, right now we have the shower activity that's slowly but surely trying to get across the Mississippi, crossing into Eau Claire, as you can see over the last, say, 15 minutes or so. Some of this has some storm activity associated with this, as you can see over by Chicago. That's out to our southeast, but we're also looking at the possibility of some of that maybe bringing in a shower or perhaps maybe even a storm, but unlikely that may occur, but we're going to keep an eye on it for you. So we get a little bit closer. There's some fog out in the river valley, as you can see, picking up a little bit of patchy fog, holding on to the area right now, and eventually shower activity is down to a 40% chance as we finish out the day. So take a look. We'll get into some mist, some shower activity, then eventually get you into this fog. You can see here holding on with patchy to dense fog kind of circulating pretty much across the area here, Winona to Black River Falls, Marshfield as well, Sparta, getting into La Crosse, and of course Vogue Field. Temperatures today widespread in the 60s. We'll see upper 50s up to the north there. We're looking at 67 degrees for a high today. Prairie du Chien about 65. Eau Claire at 63 degrees with light rainfall, some mist out there as well. We'll get into some sunshine, then bring the clouds back to finish out the day. Holding on to highs for Tuesday, you're looking at widespread low to upper 50s into the area. As we finish out, it's going to be at least some stormy conditions possibly working in the early morning hours, but till then, it starts to break down. Back to you.
Music is down, Art. I guess we're going to have to sing.
All right. Sure.
You start.
Let's do it.
Happy birthday to you. Yes, it's time for Look Who's 8, starting with Aurora. She's turning 8 days old. She is happy and healthy.
All right. How about Kobe is turning 8 months old today. He loves to go outside and watch the Packers.
And Elliot is turning 8. She loves to bake cookies with her mom and go fishing with her dad.
And then there's Bennett turning 8 years old today. He's a first grader. Wow. At St. Charles Elementary School. He loves soccer and Roblox and hanging out with his big brother.
And Bailey is also turning 8. She loves dancing, playing with friends, and making people laugh.
All right, how about Betty? She's turning 80 today. She loves to go outside in her garden, spending time there with family and friends.
And Nell is turning 88. She also loves to spend time with her family and friends.
How about plus, I should say, excuse me, plus we have a member of our morning crew turning 23 today. God, he's so young. Cody, one of our morning directors, loves to spend time with family and friends, and he loves photography, and he also is working at Thomas Sparta Speedway.
Enjoy your youth, Cody. If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, that's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
If you're feeling overwhelmed as a parent, coming up, we'll tell you about a local workshop that can help.
It's the Veterans Day sale at Home Furniture, and everything is on sale in living room, dining room, bedroom, and mattresses. Take an extra 10% off sale prices or pay no interest for 3 years. Plus, all Christmas decor is 50% off. The Veterans Day sale, now at Home Furniture.
California banker Eric Hovde has a plan that helps him and hurts you.
Here's the math. Hovde proposed $4 trillion in new tax cuts for rich people like him.
And we pay for Hovde's tax breaks with a 28% cut to Social Security and a 25% cut to Medicare.
Hovde even said he would raise the retirement age.
You have to start changing the retirement age.
Eric Hovde still helping himself and hurting you.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we're the cold weather experts, offering unbeatable deals on the gear and supplies you need to get ready for winter. Like $120 instant savings when you buy 4 Cooper tires. Rewards members save an extra $50. Plus, get up to $100 in additional savings by consumer rebate. Save $100 on this Cub Cadet dual-stage snow thrower and this Shelter Logic garage with zipping door, $200 off. Plus, check out unbeatable toy deals in Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland, now open.
Welcome to Washington, D.C. You got a bunch of loudmouth, preening politicians. It's absolute chaos. I'm Derek Van Orden, and after 26 years as a Navy SEAL, there's a few things that I learned. You stay on mission, you know what you're fighting for, and sometimes you gotta get a little dirty to finish the job. Let's go, kids. Not you. Not you. You. Let's go. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland, as in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor.
Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
It really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
I thought I knew Tammy Baldwin.
I thought I knew Tammy Baldwin.
But boy, is she extreme.
Tammy's open border policies flooded Wisconsin with fentanyl and criminals.
Her bill to force women to share locker rooms with biological men, dangerous.
And Tammy's done nothing to lower the cost of living.
In fact, she helped cause the crisis.
25 years is enough.
It's enough.
It's enough.
It's time for Tammy Baldwin to go. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Schwabel, Getz & Sieben today.
A driver hit me head on, and it changed my life forever. I was completely terrified. Schwabel, Getz & Sieben came and talked with me. I knew right away they have genuine concern, and this is the firm that I want. I absolutely did pick the right law firm.
You need an experienced attorney on your side. Schwabel, Getz & Sieben.
During the Veterans Day mattress sale at Home Sleep Express, get 10% off sale prices on quality mattress brands Luxuria and Thomas Cole Sleep. Plus, get free delivery and setup. The Veterans Day sale, going on now at Home Sleep Express.
All right, well, good morning to you. Patchy to dense fog out there right now. We also have periods of rain and mist. That's about 40% chance today. The strongest stuff is over in across the river in Minneapolis as well, getting into areas to our west. And we're also seeing some in our southeast going towards Chicago. That being said, we're going to be picking up some showers and storms cutting into tomorrow. But take a look at what's going on. All this drier air coming out of Dallas and working into Oklahoma, where they're popping up some significant storms through there, and then all the way up into Wichita, possibly with more along the way getting towards towards St. Louis. That's that track that's headed our way for tomorrow, and that possibility of that storm activity is not out of the question. Maybe a slight chance for storms for us for tomorrow. It's down to about a 2% chance for tornadoes getting into the forecast. Here's a look at what's happening right now. Most of it is to our west and, of course, to our east. So we're dry right now heading into the morning hours around kids getting to school around 7 o'clock. You're going to see the fog, though. That's the issue for the folks trying to get out and about. This is going to linger all the way through the mid-morning hours, and it's going to be patchy to dense throughout that time and then start to break down getting into the 9 o'clock hour. And then by 10 o'clock, everybody's out of it with the exception of Ladysmith. That being said, take a look what I've got going on for you. A little bit of light rainfall cutting across the Mississippi going towards Eau Claire. By the time we get into at least the 11 o'clock hour, Eau Claire gets a shower or two, maybe a light sprinkle or so, some mist, and getting into areas right by Ladysmith with some moderate rainfall. We'll get maybe a mist two out of that coming into a sprinkle. We'll also see that again by the time we get to 3 o'clock hour. Widespread 60s for us with the upper 50s to the north. We're 66. I'm getting 67 for us for our high today. Then we cut back into the 50s by 7 o'clock with increasing clouds through the day, and we take it back into at least mostly cloudy to cloudy skies to finish out the rest of the day. Take it into the to the overnight hours. You're looking at rainfall coming in overnight. You're seeing at least by 8 a.m. more showers with heavy stuff, the light to moderate rainfall popping in the picture. Maybe heavy at times working through the area, but not seeing a lot of reds in there. We'll get into an area of low pressure that's going to track from the southeast all the way to the northeast, and that's the rest. That's how it's cutting out most of that area, taking it out of the area and clearing out the skies. We'll get into the rainfall we expect for today. You're not looking at much, up to maybe a third of an inch, possibly a little bit more than that. You can see that down, and maybe down to the South Bosqueville getting up to 0.062. We'll also be seeing, as we finish out, everybody getting a lot more rainfall for tomorrow. You can see that coming in. As we finish out, though, the storm activity that I showed you already getting here, we have a marginal risk for severe weather, and as that continues, you'll also be seeing some rainfall moving into the area, but we also have winds getting up to 26 miles per hour through the day, and that'll track through about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, it begins to break down. Here's a look for tomorrow. You're looking at least widespread 60s, and as we finish out for the remainder of the day, you'll be taking it into at least 50s for tomorrow, and then we see how this all plays out for tomorrow. You're looking at 67 today, warm conditions, cooler tomorrow, back to seasonal average temperatures or so. We'll also see cooler conditions going in for Wednesday and Thursday with mostly mild conditions. Back to you.
Well, parenting is chaotic. We know that. There's really no other way to put it. And when the stress of work, bills, relationships, and kids all piles up, our home can feel more like a circus than the peaceful sanctuary we dream of. That's why occupational therapist Rebecca Maddie and Jenna Close are teaming up for a Parenting with Purpose seminar. They're joining us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. So let's just start with the details. When and where is this taking place?
Yeah, this will be on Saturday, November 16th from 9 a.m. to noon at the newly opened Art House in La Crosse on the north side.
Okay, great.
And so why are you holding this event?
Yeah,
these are topics that we talk about frequently with parents, and so we wanted to dive a little bit deeper into these and just be able to equip parents with the tools to take home and have a balanced home environment.
Yeah, something we're all looking for,
Yeah.
I would say for sure. And you're both occupational therapists, so tell us a little bit how that expertise plays into this.
Yeah, so as OTs, we're uniquely suited to kind of take each individual situation or challenge that a family might be facing and really break it down into its individual pieces and see where can we find the area of improvement. And one of the most important pieces and often overlooked parts of that is the parent's regulation when their child is having really big emotions.
Yeah.
And so we find ourselves talking about that a lot with parents of, well, how are you feeling when they're in a really difficult place? So that's kind of where we can come in and say, okay, let's figure out this piece, and that can hopefully help this bigger challenge in the long run.
So what guided you to find this particular self-regulation thought? So how does this play out?
Yeah, so self-regulation is something that we all use every day to get through our day, to get tasks done. We manage our emotions and our behavior. So for parents, that's looking like being able to manage your emotions to get the bills paid and get the schedule through, and then also at the same time help your child get through their day and help them learn. So much of self-regulation is developed within the first 5 years of life, but then we continue to refine that and get better at it as we age. And so when we become parents, it's often we realize, oh, I don't really have the tools that I thought I did. Because now I'm not only trying to manage my emotions, I'm helping somebody else manage theirs. And so that's usually when it starts to come up like, oh, okay, I need some more tools and some more strategies.
Oh yeah, those toddler tantrums. They'll take every tool in the book, right? So we know that connection is an important part, help us get through some of this, but it can also feel lonely as a parent. And so because of that, you guys really want parents to connect. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we just wanted to create a space where parents can connect with one another and learn from one another. Obviously, people have different strategies and tools that they use, so we wanted to have that time for them to connect with one another and just see other perspectives and what other people are doing. And so hopefully that'll help strengthen those family dynamics within their own home and help give parents confidence essentially overall too.
Yes, it's great to have at least, you know, other parents you can bounce ideas on, get some support for sure. That's so important.
I saw a toddler break down the other day in the mall. It was, I wanted to laugh, but I felt so bad for the parents.
Yes, those are never fun.
So anyway, how do we sign up for this, or can we?
Yeah, so you can sign up by going to Honeybee OT's social media, either Facebook or Instagram, or you're welcome to email me directly at otrmaddie@honeybeeoccupationaltherapy.com, and I can send the link. It is $30 per person to register, and then $50 for a pair, and that can be you and your spouse, or that can be you and a parent friend just coming together to learn some new things.
Okay, great. We've got that information up for people interested. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you guys.
All right, stay with us. We're back right after this.
Sick of running out of hot water? The professionals at Maxwell White are here to handle all of your water heater needs. Our licensed technicians can install, repair, or replace any type of water heater with same-day or next-day service. Call Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. They've always taken care of me. But when they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. So they sent me this Hollywood trainer. Oh, this guy's no joke. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Now let's try burpees. Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular. Current customers get $1,200 off any phone, plus $400 off any tablet.
I believe in bringing people together, like my family and neighbors did when I was growing up on the north side of La Crosse. And now that I'm in the state legislature, it's why I focus on bipartisanship, because my whole being is focused on bringing people together to find solutions to make everyone a winner. I've appreciated the opportunity to be your state representative, and if I'm reelected, that's what I'm going to continue to do. My entire focus will be on bringing people together to make Wisconsin a better state.
I'm Tara, a nurse here in Wisconsin, and my patients don't want politicians like Eric Hovde making their healthcare decisions. He means what he says about opposing reproductive rights.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
And there are forces in Washington who want to pass a nationwide ban on abortion. And if Hovde gets elected, I worry he'll support that ban that could turn nurses like me into criminals. We need to vote against Eric Hovde.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion, yes or no?
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah.
And the punishment is real. Women denied care, unable to get pregnant again, traumatized, scarred for life. Young women who didn't need to die. Now 1 in 3 women live under a Trump abortion ban. And if he's elected, everyone will.
There has to be some form of punishment.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
For over 5 decades, Jim's Truck and Trailer in Winona has been your solution for everything transportation related. In 1971, my dad Jim recognized truckers and families needed a reliable partner who will have their vehicle road ready. Still family owned and operated, our mission has never wavered. Whether your ride is a truck and trailer, auto transportator, charter bus, or RV, Jim's Truck and Trailer's fleet of ASC certified technicians can handle any issue or upgrade. Jim's Truck and Trailer Coachworks, repair, refinish, remarkable.
Here at Maxwell White, we grew up under these lights, so we know what hard work and dedication really means. Being your hometown champs means being part of a team that succeeds together. So every time you call, you get nothing but our best.
Visit the Pleasing Outlet Store, online and on Ward Avenue, La Crosse.
Welcome back. It's 6:53. Time for your morning news now. Less than 24 hours now till Election Day polls open, and the battle for Wisconsin intensifying right here in La Crosse today. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance will bring his campaign to the La Crosse Center this morning. He will focus on the economy and border security. Doors for that opening in about 30 minutes now at 7:30. The rally starts at 9:30. And the Democratic ticket also making La Crosse a priority today. Vice presidential candidate and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz will also hold a rally here. The time and location are still under wraps for this one, but it is a key stop in Walz's four-day battleground state blitz ahead of tomorrow's election. As the campaign trail crisscrosses La Crosse today, your morning commute could face some major delays and detours, especially around the airport and downtown. The La Crosse Police Department warning that parking will be limited near the La Crosse Center with motorcades and security measures impacting traffic. And we've got some wet road conditions too, so try to give yourself some extra time this morning. As these final campaign pushes wrap up, polls open tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Just about 24 hours to go now. Wisconsin voters can find their polling location at myvote.wi.gov. Minnesota voters can check the Secretary of State's website. Voters in La Crosse and Eau Claire can enjoy some free rides to the polls. Polls close at 8 p.m. As long as you're in line by then, you will be able to cast your vote. And stay tuned to News 8. We'll have team coverage of the election throughout the day. We'll also have a recap on News 8 Now this morning on Wednesday. Local high schoolers joined together to feed the greater La Crosse area. The 9th annual iFeed brought students together Saturday for the community-wide food drive. Led by high school Interact clubs, all donations will work to stock local food pantries through the Hunger Task Force. Organizers say the timing is perfect to do so.
The food pantry shelves are often bare as we head into the holiday season, so this is just one way to get them kind of geared up to feed the hungry for the holiday season.
You can still bring your donations to festival food locations across the area until November 16th.
River Valley fog is a part of your morning. You can see out there right now. Patchy to dense fog is associated with areas coming into La Crosse this early morning, so please be careful. We have a few showers, about a 40% chance popping into the picture. They're light. They'll also show some mist out there as well. We'll see some temperatures from the upper 50s to the widespread 60s today. We'll pick up 67 for our high today. And there's a look at the rainfall that we're actually going to pick up today. It seems that Eau Claire and Ladysmith will be the big winners. 67 degrees today, warm conditions for you. Much cooler tomorrow. Temperatures in the morning in the 50s. Get out and enjoy it. Have a great day.
A police canine in North Carolina taking on a new assignment, gender reveal duty. Axel helped his handler, Officer Bradley Nunnery, discover some big news in a unique way. The Greenville Police Department shared the moment Axel bounded over to a box, revealing blue powder and showing it was a boy. All right.
Well done.
See that a lot on social media, don't we? Thanks for starting your morning with us. We will see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your Monday.